This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last session, we discussed about updates, right? We synchronized the update from WSUS into SCCM. Now, the subscription of this Azure is expired because it was only for 30 days. So let me go to subscription, okay, and check the subscription details. And I'm gonna click on, okay, you see it is disabled. Okay, so it got disabled automatically, or I think Vasanta, you disabled it, right?
Yes, Kasif. I will send
Okay, you disabled it. Okay. Actually, you don't have to disable. So what we have to do, we need to click on free trial. And if the subscription is currently disabled and not incurring any charges if you do not delete or deactivate the subscription permanently. Okay. So now this subscription is uh, disabled. So what is the next option? We would like to request to Microsoft to give us some more free credit, right? Uh, so that we can utilize it for the next 30 days. So I'm gonna search help and support. Okay? Help and support. Basically, I don't know whether they will be able to do it or not. So we should have created a request before the subscription is disabled. Okay. So I'm gonna click on create a support request, and here kindly re-enable my subscription. Kindly give me $200 free credit. So I'm gonna choose billing and free trial. And I'm gonna choose refund request because the subscription is expired. So I think I can choose only this one. Next. Okay, I'm gonna click. So it is giving us some recommendation, right? So I'm gonna click on this close button and next. Now the date, today's date, right? And confirm account type, requesting refund, uh, free trial, for example. Um, request refund if available. Reason for refund other. Okay. Provide reason to refund. I'm gonna give the same thing here, Azure service. Other. Hello team, I am a student and I am still learning Azure, but my subscription expired. I Hence I request you to kindly give me $200 free credit one last time and re-enable my subscription so that I can um, continue my. Yeah. So I'm basically writing a request to Microsoft so that they can give us some more credit. Okay. Next. Oh, I have to fill some details here, right? Allow collection. Okay. Email, right? Support language English, first name, last name. Put your Gmail address here, Gmail ID. Vasanta. Type in your Gmail account here. Not there, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. Below, you have additional email for notification, right? Type in your Hotmail account here. One minute. Vasantha Kumari Mundla. Kumari Mundla. Vasantha Kumari Mundla at outlook.com. Okay. Now, country, India. Now, let me go next and create. So we have created a request. Okay. Let me click on refresh here on the top. Refresh. Okay. So we have refreshed the page. Now there is a request. This is the ID number, the ticket number, right? and the title, kindly give me. Okay, so when you click on that, it is gonna take you to the ticket. So currently, what does it say? You don't have any message. Okay, reload. So right now we have not received any response. Once we get the response, then the message will appear here, right? So this is our details which we have requested. So hi team, I am a student. I'm still learning Azure, but my subscription is expired. Hence, I request you to kindly give me $200 free credit one last time and re-enable my subscription so that I can continue using my resources in Azure. And if things go well, then I will go with the pay-as-you-go subscription later for sure. Kindly help me with it. Okay, so we have requested it. Now, once we get the response from Microsoft, that will appear here. So this is the ticket number, created the date and time, subscription free trial, billing. Okay, so that is going to take at least within 24 hours. They should reply, right? Hanumant, you can also go and check your Azure portal if they have given some response uh, from their side. Okay, now here you can take a look after in the evening probably and check in case if they have some response here. Okay, clear, Vasanta? All good? Hmm? You guys don't say anything. Yes or no, what?
Okay, Kaustubh.
Okay, so you need to wait for at least 24 hours for their response. Okay,
Okay, guys.
hopefully, hopefully they will reply something. Okay, that so that we can take next action. Okay, understood. Have you checked Hanumant? What is there any response from their side?
No, Kashiv, not yet. There is no response. Not
No response from their side. Okay,
yet.
1 minute. Okay, so in the last session we discussed about updates, right? But since the subscription is not there, we cannot proceed further with the update. So I'm gonna show you something else, uh, which is called operating system deployment. We have seen operating system deployment already, but that operating system deployment was the um, wipe and reload. So there was one Windows 10 machine in Azure portal. What we did, we deployed Windows 11 operating system on that machine. So we formatted that machine, right? So this machine NYWIN01, this machine is Windows 10. What we did, we configured everything in MECM PS server, and when from the primary side we deployed Windows 11 on this machine. NYWIN01 is now a Windows 11 machine, right? Everyone? Hmm? Yes or
Yeah,
no? When
yeah,
we
Kaushik.
have done that one, I will I will let you know. So we completed that. Um, we did that on 16th of July. Okay. We downloaded the Windows 11 ISO, then we extracted install.vim, and then we deployed it. So this kind of deployment is called um, wipe and reload, format and re-image an existing computer. Format and re-image. Got it? Format and re-image. But now I'm going to show you a different method of operating system deployment. So for that, I'm going to share my screen with you, okay? Because the method is not possible on Azure. You cannot deploy um, that kind of operating system in Azure portal. Basically, you have to have uh, local setup for that. Okay? I hope you guys can see my screen, everyone. Hmm? Yes or no? Nobody says
Yes, yes.
anything. Okay, so um, the deployment is called bare metal operating system deployment. Bare metal. What do you mean by bare metal? Bare means nothing. It's a blank hardware without any operating system. Okay. So computer runs on what? Hardware plus software, the operating system. But suppose you purchase motherboard, hard disk, then processor, and then you assemble a new computer. Okay. For example, you have purchased motherboard, right? Then you have purchased a processor, right? And then memory, and then hard disk, right? For example, this one is memory, this one is hard disk, right? So this is having all the components, the hardware is present. These are all hardware without operating system. So in this one, operating system is not yet installed, right? Operating system is not yet installed. So this kind of computer is called bare metal. Okay, bare metal. So some companies, what they are doing, they are purchasing computers. Okay, they are purchasing computers, bare metal computers. For example, you you are running this company, let's say ABC Private Limited. Okay, this is your company. Now you need 500 laptops. Okay, So you need 500 laptops. So what will you do? You will approach the vendor and the vendor will give it to you. For example, these are for 500 computers. Okay. These are 500 Dell computers, Dell laptops. Okay. Now these machines are like bare metal. They don't have any operating system without any Windows 10, without any Windows 11. We don't have Windows 11, Windows 10 on these machines. So from SCCM server, okay, we will deploy operating system on these machines. Operating system. Either you deploy Win 10 or Win 11 on these machines. These are called bare metal laptops, right? Bare metal, sorry, bare metal laptops. Okay. So these are 500 laptops, for example, and 500 or 100 or even one machine. That's not the point here. The point is, how do you deploy operating system on a bare metal operating system, bare metal computer? So for that, we need to have a wired connection network. Okay, we need to have a network connection, and on that we need to have a domain server. Then we will have to have database, right? And we will have MECM, MECM server. Okay, primary or secondary, that's not a point here. At least MECM server has to be there, either primary or secondary. Okay, now, so currently, uh, our infrastructure is like this. We have a domain server, database, and MECM PS server, right? Now, suppose you add a new bare metal machine. This is a new bare metal machine, like a blank computer without any operating system. So this machine will receive Windows operating system from where? From MECM server. So you need to have distribution point, right? And you need to have um, PXE enable. Basically, the distribution point currently we have is not a PXE enabled distribution point. So it has to be PXE enabled DP. PXE means pre-execution environment. So currently the distribution point what we have is supporting the computers which are having operating system. But what about the machine which does not have operating system? So that will be supported by PXE enabled distribution point. Second, we need to have DHCP. So either you install the DHCP on the domain server or you install it on a separate server. Similarly, either you install DP on a MECM primary site or secondary site, or you install it on a separate box. Okay, so we need two things. First is DHCP. So what is DHCP? It will provide IP address, provide IP to the machine. Okay, second, distribution point, right? DP distribution will DP will provide um, operating system to the target machine. Okay, target computer. So the moment you turn on this machine, okay, you power on this machine, what will happen? It will start looking for IP address. So give me IP address. Okay, just like on your phone, mobile phone, you power on your mobile phone, and if you don't have a SIM card, it will say SIM card is not there. Mobile number, it needs a mobile number because that's the whole purpose of the mobile. Similarly, IP address is like a mobile number. The computer needs IP address, so it needs IP. Who will provide IP? The DHCP server is going to provide IP. That's the first thing. Okay. Then after receiving the IP address, it needs to load the operating system, but currently it does not have operating system. So who will supply the operating system? The distribution point will supply the uh, distribution point will supply the operating system, basically OS, to this machine. So DP is going to supply OS, operating system, and then after some time this machine will be ready with either Windows 10 or Windows 11, whatever the things you deploy, and then it will be ready to use. Okay, it will be ready to use. Understood the concept, everyone? Yes or no? Say quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have this kind of environment is possible only locally. In companies we have the local setup, like we will have a local SCCM server, local database server, not on Azure. That's not possible in Azure, not on virtual machine. Okay, like Azure virtual machine. So I have this, you see, locally lab setup on my laptop. On my laptop I created domain controller, database, and MECM server is same as your infrastructure which is there in Azure, same to same. But the difference is you are running in Azure Cloud Data Center and I am running on my laptop. Okay, that's the difference. You are basically putting everything in East US in the United States, in Virginia, I think, but I have set it up here on my laptop. Now, so I'm going to build a new machine, a fresh machine without any operating system. Okay, so let me create a new fresh machine, a bare metal machine. So I'm gonna create a new machine, new, and I'm gonna type in bare metal 01. For example, this is the new machine. Where will I save it? I'm gonna save this on just the location. Where will you save it? Okay, virtual machine. I'm gonna create one folder here called bare metal 01. Okay, and select folder. Now ISO, no, I will not supply any ISO image file because we would like to deploy the operating system through SCCM, not from the CD disk. Now it is going to be Windows 10 or Windows 11. I am deploying Windows 11, so I'm going to choose Windows 11. Okay, next. uh, Next, uh, 4 GB RAM and 2 CPU. So how much processor and memory I'm going to give it to it? 4 GB RAM, 2 CPU. Next, 80 GB is going to be hard disk. Next, finish. Now I have to put this machine on the same network where other machines are running. Okay, so other machines are running on NAT network. Okay, so I'm gonna network. Let me click on NAT network. Where is NAT network? NAT network, and click OK. So this machine is going to connect to this network because all my other machine like domain, database, and MECM is running on the same network. Okay, then let me go to settings of this machine. And settings, I don't need floppy, I don't need CD disk, I need network boot, because it has to be, everything will be done over the network. So I need the boot order to be network first. It will look for IP address on the network, then operating system on the network. Second, hard disk. In case if network does not have it, then it will look for hard disk. Okay, processor to processor, network. Okay, everything is done properly. Now what I have done, I have created a DHCP server here. If I on the domain server, so if I show you DHCP, where is DHCP? DHCP. Now main purpose of DHCP is what? Is to supply IP address to the devices on the network. So I've created a range of IP address here. Scope address lease. Okay. So now Excuse me. So now I've given a new scope, and the IP is starting with 10.0.2.50. So first IP address 50, and it will go up to 250. So there are 200 IP address in this range. So first machine on the network will get 50, second will get 51, then 52, then 53, then 54, 55, and it will keep on going up to 250. So in this network, I can join 200 machines, right? So if you see address lease, it started with 50, 51, 50. So it database received 50, MECM server received 51. Then this is one of the Windows 10 machine, 53, 54. Now I will turn on a new machine, and that will get a IP address automatically. Okay. Second thing, um, you have to create a PXE enabled distribution point. So distribution point, what you have is the plain distribution point, not the PXE enabled one. So for PXE enabled DP, you need to go to MECM console. So basically, you don't have to do all these things, okay, because it will be done already by the network team. The DHCP thing, you don't have to create DHCP yourself. Okay, so here we have to go to administration, right? And inside administration, we have to go to site configuration and then servers and site system rules. When we come here, then we need to go to the primary site server. Why? Because the distribution point is installed on the primary. In case if distribution point is installed on secondary, then you will have to go to secondary. Okay. So now here you see distribution point. So distribution point is a plain distribution point. We have to make it as a PXE enabled distribution point so that it can listen to the machine which does not have operating system too. Right now it is listening to the machine which has operating system and on the network. But what about the machine which does not have operating system? So right click and properties and PXE. You see, you need to enable this one. Okay. In your case, it will be like this. In your case, it will be like this, right? So what you have to do, you need to click on enable PXE, then allow PXE, then enable, right? And then require password. Password is basically for um security reason, so that during operating system deployment, it will ask for a password and then you have to enter this password. Okay, 5-second delay. So when the machine will start, it will wait for 5 seconds. Okay, so this is the setting you have to do. Let me cancel, which I have already done. Then you need to go to software library, and inside software library you have operating system images and then task sequence. The same task sequence which we have created. It's the same, the wipe and reload. It's the same task sequence. So that task sequence you have to deploy to all unknown computer collection. Why? Because the new machine will be unknown to SCCM, right? So as you see in the deployment, I have deployed it to all unknown computer collection. So how do you do that? Right click and then choose deploy, right? Either you deploy in required or available. Required means forcefully the machine, the moment the machine comes up on the network, when you power on, automatically it will receive the uh, OS image. You don't have to select any operating system image manually, it will automatically receive it. So that is called required mode deployment, right? So you need to select the collection. So collection, all unknown computer collection, right? Next, and then either available, then you will have to choose. When you power on the machine, then you will have to press F12 to boot from network or something. But I'm gonna say required forceful deployment, and it has to be done on the PXE. PXE means pre-execution, before operating system. Okay, what that is called pre-execution environment. Next, and then you have to just go choose the um, as soon as possible, right? And always rerun so that the program will rerun. Next, 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 finish. So basically I have already done it, so I'm not going again. Let me cancel this. So I have already deployed it. Now it's time to let me open the log file again also, which is this one, SMS PXE log. That will show us what is happening, whether the machine is receiving the IP address or not, whether the machine is receiving the OS image or not. So this is SMS PXE log, which is there in C program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager logs, and SMS PXE. This is on the primary side server. Now let me power on the machine, which is right here. So I'm going to click on start. Okay, so when you start, what happens? First, it will receive the IP from where? From the DHCP server, because DHCP server is supplying IP to all the machines which are coming on the network. So what happened? I started the machine. Now the machine is right here. You see the machine is right here. And starting up. Let's see. Okay. So when you start, it will say press any key to go to the boot manager. So basically it is asking me to go to select the boot manager. So I'm going to go to boot manager, and then there are multiple options. CD disk, I don't have CD disk. Hard disk does not have anything, right? Internal shell and the network. The last one is network. So I want the machine to boot from network. So hit enter. Now you see the log file showing something. Okay. So it's doing something in the backend. It will automatically receive. This is the MAC address of the machine. MAC address, I'll show you. This is the MAC address 08002743F2D3. Sorry. There you go. The machine received the IP address. It's automatically doing it. You see, I don't have to do anything. It's automatically happening. It's loading the machine. It's receiving the boot image and the required files from distribution point. So it received the IP address. If you would like to see where it received, which IP address it received, you go to domain server here. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But if you refresh, you will have one more, the new machine. Right click, refresh. There you go. So this is the new machine IP address, and you see the MAC address 08002743F2D3. That's the new machine MAC address. Okay, this is the new machine MAC address. So this machine is now receiving what? The OS image from distribution point. So you don't have to do anything, you have to leave it as it is, and the machine will get ready with Windows 11 operating system on this machine, and it is going to do everything. It will have, I'll show you on the SCCM server. So it will have the task sequence. Basically, this task sequence will get deployed, and in this task sequence I have given first the machine will restart in boot image, WinP, then BIOS, partitioning, then UEFI partitioning will happen, then apply operating system, right? Then it will um, join to the domain, right? No, it will set the password, then it will join the machine to the domain. It will apply the device driver, then it will install SCCM configuration manager client, then it will install some common applications, right? These are the common applications, FileZilla and Google Chrome, and then it will install the package, whatever the package we have chosen. And then final step is restart computer. So once the machine is ready with all these steps, then the last will get restarted and your machine will be ready to use. So user can start utilizing that machine. This is called bare metal operating system deployment. You understood, guys? Hmm?
Yeah, Kashyap.
So in companies, they are building up a new machine using this method. Okay. Clear, Vasanta? Hmm?
Yes, Kashyap.
Okay. So thank you for joining. This is how we do bare metal operating system deployment. I will send you the recording. Now you need to check the response from Microsoft, okay? And let me know once you receive it. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye now. Bye everyone.